Hello everyone. In this session, we're going to talk about one of the most important foundations of cybersecurity, secure network architecture. You can think of it as the blueprint or skeleton of an organization's digital infrastructure. Just like a building requires strong foundations, carefully designed rooms, and controlled entry points to remain safe, networks also need thoughtful design with built-in layers of protection. So, what exactly is secure network architecture? At its core, it is the practice of designing computer networks with security in mind from the very beginning. Instead of adding security as an afterthought, it's baked into the design, through segmentation, layered defenses, secure device configurations, and continuous monitoring. The ultimate goal is to reduce vulnerabilities and resist evolving cyber threats. Let's walk through the key elements one by one. 1. Designing networks with layered security controls. This concept is sometimes referred to as defense in depth. Imagine your house, you don't just rely on one lock on the front door. You might also have a fence, CCTV cameras, an alarm system, and maybe even a dog. Each layer adds extra protection in case one fails. Similarly, in network architecture, we don't depend on a single security control. Instead, we use multiple layers like firewalls, intrusion detection systems, endpoint security, and access controls. This way, even if an attacker bypasses one layer, there are others waiting to stop them. 2. Segmentation to isolate critical assets. Network segmentation means dividing the network into smaller zones or segments and controlling traffic between them. Think of it like a ship with watertight compartments. If one part of the ship gets damaged, the water doesn't flood the entire vessel. In the same way, segmentation prevents attackers from moving freely across the entire network. For example, the HR department's systems shouldn't have the same access as the production servers. If a hacker gains access to one, segmentation makes it harder to jump into the other. This is especially important for protecting sensitive assets like financial systems, customer databases, or critical infrastructure. 3. Secure configurations for routers, firewalls, and switches. Hardware devices like routers, firewalls, and switches are the gateways and traffic controllers of any network. But by default, many of these devices are not secure. They may come with default passwords, open ports, or outdated firmware that attackers can exploit. Part of secure network architecture is making sure these devices are hardened, which means changing default settings, applying strong authentication, disabling unused services, and keeping firmware up to date. For instance, a misconfigured router could become an easy entry point for hackers, so proactive configuration management is essential. 4. Ensuring resilience against evolving cyber threats. Cyber threats are not static. Attackers are constantly coming up with new methods, from advanced ransomware to sophisticated phishing schemes to zero-day exploits. A secure network architecture is not something you design once and forget about. It must be resilient, which means it should adapt and evolve to defend against new forms of attack. This involves continuous monitoring, regular vulnerability assessments, penetration testing, and updating controls as threats change. Now, let's connect these ideas to real-world examples. Consider the famous Target data breach in 2013. Attackers gained access through a third-party vendor's network credentials and then moved laterally across the company's systems until they reached sensitive customer payment data. A lack of proper segmentation and monitoring allowed them to spread undetected. This incident shows why secure design and segmentation are not optional but critical. Another example is in hospitals. Medical devices like MRI machines or patient monitors often run outdated software. If they are directly connected to the same network as administrative systems, an attack on one part can disrupt the entire hospital. By segmenting the network, separating medical devices from administrative systems, hospitals can ensure that an infection in one zone does not compromise patient care systems. Now let's talk about some best practices in secure network architecture. Apply the principle of least privilege. Users and systems should only have access to the data and resources they absolutely need. Use firewalls at multiple points, not just at the network perimeter. Internal firewalls can isolate sensitive zones. Enable intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDS/IPS, to monitor traffic for suspicious activity. Deploy virtual LANs, VLANs, for segmentation in large organizations. Regularly update and patch networking devices to close known vulnerabilities. We should also mention cloud and hybrid environments, because today, networks are not just physical anymore. With the rise of cloud services, secure network architecture also involves cloud-based firewalls, secure APIs, and strong identity and access management. For example, companies may use zero-trust models, where every connection, whether inside or outside the corporate network, must be verified. An additional layer of resilience comes from network redundancy. This means designing systems so that if one component fails, traffic can be rerouted through backup systems. This is important not just for security but also for reliability. Cyber attacks often target availability, such as distributed denial of service, DDoS, attacks. With redundancy and proper load balancing, networks can continue to operate even under attack. Another point worth discussing is monitoring and visibility. Secure network architecture requires continuous logging and traffic analysis. Without visibility, it's like flying blind. Network administrators should have dashboards and alerts that help them detect unusual patterns, such as sudden spikes in traffic or unauthorized access attempts. This enables quick response before small incidents turn into large breaches. Let's also highlight the role of encryption in network architecture. Data moving across networks should be encrypted, both within the organization and when it leaves. Protocols like HTTPS, TLS, and VPN tunnels ensure that even if traffic is intercepted, it cannot be read. Encryption at rest, meaning data stored on servers, also adds an additional layer of protection. To summarize what we've covered so far: 1. Secure network architecture is about building networks with security as a core design principle. 2. It involves layered defenses, so no single point of failure can compromise everything. 3. Segmentation helps isolate critical assets and prevent attackers from moving freely. 4. Secure configurations of devices like routers, firewalls, and switches prevent easy exploitation. 5. Continuous resilience and adaptation are required to keep up with evolving threats. In conclusion, secure network architecture is not just a technical task, it's a strategic investment in the safety and reliability of an organization. By designing networks that are segmented, layered, resilient, and adaptable, organizations can significantly reduce their exposure to cyber threats. Just like a well-constructed building can withstand storms, a well-architected network can withstand cyber attacks. It's about thinking ahead, preparing for the worst, and ensuring that security is not an afterthought but a built-in foundation. Thank you.